We are back with your brand new video. What is good, Heat Nation? In today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple of different things. We got a lot to unpack. Starting off with Duncan Robinson, then moving on to the Heat schedule release, which I think released just today, a couple hours ago. But yeah, we're going to be talking about all that, so make sure you guys tune in until the end of the video. Leave a like if you guys enjoy the video. Subscribe if you guys are new. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. And go check out my second channel. I've started a new series where I'm regrading draft classes from 2010 onwards. I just uploaded 2010. We'll be doing 2011 very soon. So go check out the second channel. Link will be in the description, along with my Twitter as well. But let's get right into it. We got to talk about Duncan Robinson first, because that's the first thing that we're going to be talking about. And it's going to be basically the title of this video. Is the end for Duncan Robinson's Miami Heat career inevitable? Now, as we all know, Duncan came through the ranks as one of our finest undrafted players. He came through. Nobody really knew who he was unless you really watched him in college. The Heat signed him, picked him up. He was on a two-way deal the year before he really broke out. And, the year that he really broke out was the year of 2019-2020, where the Heat made it to the finals. And Duncan Robinson was the starting shooting guard for most of that year. And he played a tremendous part of the Heat reaching the finals. In 2021, he also balled out for the second half of the season. In the first half, he was a little bit wishy-washy, but he did come through. And after the playoffs in 2021, where we got swept, he was rewarded with a massive contract extension, which made him the largest, or not the largest, but the most paid player for an undrafted player in NBA history, which is basically the largest contract for any undrafted player ever, is what Duncan Robinson received. 5 years, $90 million. A lot of people at the time were like, that's an overpay. Some people at the time were like, that's an underpay. Like, I saw a lot of different things about this. I was kind of a person who was like, yes, that is a lot of money, but in this market, it's a shooter's market. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the shooters, I keep saying this over and over again, a lot of the shooters get paid $18 million. When you look at Davis Bertans, when you look at Joe Harris, when you look at Evan Fournier, I can even go on and name more names if I could think of them. But a lot of the shooters, even Tim Hardaway Jr., another name like that, who got paid the same amount, 18 to 19 million is really the standard for shooters. And I think that's what the market value is. And it was a fair contract at the time. Unfortunately for Duncan, this season, or the last season, was not a good one for him. He started off the season very slow, and he never really got back into his rhythm. He had a couple of flashes here and there, lost his starting spot towards the end of the season to Max Strus. It was after that 4-game losing streak that I'm pretty sure we put in Max Strus into that starting lineup. And we never really looked back from there, man. Duncan Robinson saw his minutes decline. In the playoffs, he had a really good game against the Hawks in Game 1, where he dropped 27 on, I think, 9 threes or 9 field goals made out of 10. He was going crazy. And then after that Game 1, he only played, I think, 10 minutes the next game. And then since then, his minutes never really saw an ascension. He was almost unplayable in the series against Philly and Boston, because every time he was in the game, teams would just run ISO and whoever offense against him. And he never really saw a consistent run in the playoffs after that Game 1 against the Hawks, and it was very disappointing to see. We could have definitely used the shooting, because even when he did get minutes, he never really was knocking down his shots. Now, a lot of that is probably due to the fact that he was out of rhythm. He was losing confidence because he was getting benched a lot. But still, man, for what we were paying him, it was not nearly what we were worth what we were paying him at that time. And still paying him to this day. 5 years, $90 million is, insane for what he produced last season. And to top it off, we found another undrafted gem in Max Strus, who did the same thing as Duncan Robinson, but he also did a couple of different things where he put the ball on the floor, competed defensively. I know he didn't move as well as Duncan did, when he was playing in that finals in 2020, but he brought a couple of different stuff to the table that Duncan did not bring, and he basically just replaced him. And now, as we fast forward to today, we have Duncan Robinson on our squad who's making that much money, and it just seems like the end for him is inevitable for his Miami Heat career. And I don't think we're going to be starting him anytime soon, especially with the emergence of Max Strus. Tyler Hero has already expressed that he wants to start. Victor Oladipo looks like he's primed for a really, really good season after his first full offseason after his gruesome injuries. And now we are in a predicament where if we keep Duncan Robinson on the team, we are almost guaranteed to have a guy who's making a lot of money, 5 years, 90 million, to be sitting on our bench. And we are at the point where this is one of the worst contracts in the NBA, and no team really wants him, unless it's something that could make salaries match, or unless we throw in draft capital. At the same time, we can't really keep him around because he's not really getting consistent minutes. So we're kind of in a dilemma where we're stuck right now. And I do believe the end for Duncan Robinson is near. I do believe that, we've probably seen the last of Duncan Robinson. If I had to put like a vote, or like, if I had to stay on the side of a fence where I believe he's either staying or leaving, I think he's gone. I think he's gonna get traded. If I had to, make a prediction. Because I think that either he's going to get traded for a big fish because of his contract and how it can, match, it could be used to match money value and, the contracts and stuff like that. Number two, he could also be used as a piece to go get a power forward if we strike out on a KD or a Mitchell or whatnot. He could be a piece that we use to go trade for, I don't know, a Harrison Barnes or a Miles Turner. Him and a couple of picks and a younger player could do the job, could get the job done. But, I think he's gone. If I had to put my finger to it, if I had to make a prediction whether he was going to stay or leave, I think it's more likely that he's out the door. And it is disappointing, man. This is a guy that we all had high hopes for after he broke out, and it just did not really work out. I think a lot of that is confidence issues. I think he really struggled, especially when he was given that money. You see a lot of people when they're given big contracts, they struggle. Some of them struggle because they had ego problems. They didn't really know what to do. They stopped working hard, like Hassan Whiteside. Some of them struggled because the pressure was too much. I think that was the case with Duncan. I think the pressure just got to him. And this is not me. I'm not a psychologist or whatnot. This is what I would just, analyzing the personality of Duncan Robinson. He doesn't seem like a guy who's overly confident, like a Tyler Hero, who he just has swag written all over him. He seems like a guy who's, unsure of himself at times. And that's fine, but I think it really hurt him after he got that contract, man. I just think that the pressure got to him a little bit, and I still think he's one of the best shooters in the NBA, but we don't really have time to figure that out on a team that's looking to win a championship right now. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, I think the end is near, and wherever Duncan Robinson ends up, whether it's still on the Heat or whether it's on a different team, I hope he turns his slump around. But yeah, I just do want you guys in the comment section to let me know. Do you guys think and believe that this is the end of Duncan Robinson's Heat career? Do you think the game that he played, I don't even know what the last game he played for our team is. I don't even know if he played in Game 7 against Boston. I don't even think he did. But do you think whatever game he played in last was the last game of his Heat career? Let me know down in the comment section below. Second thing we got to, push through and talk about is the Heat schedule release. As we all know, the NBA has released schedules, national TV schedules, Christmas schedules, all that good stuff. I talked about the fact that the Heat did not have a Christmas game. I'm not going to rant about that. We do have 22 national TV games, including NBA TV. I think it's 11 without NBA TV. Whether you want to count NBA TV as national TV games, it's up to you. But yeah, I think without NBA TV, we're like 13th or 14th or something like that as far as how we stack up for national TV games. And again, we do not have an opening night game. We do play the Hawks on MLK Day, which is like one of our two like special event games. And I think the NBA has introduced something where we're going to be playing in Mexico City against the San Antonio Spurs, which is a really good gesture. I'm sure, obviously the Heat have a ton of fans around the world. I'm sure we have fans in Mexico. I'm sure that you're going to see a lot of Heat fans at that game. So that was a really good gesture by the NBA. I'm super excited to watch that game, even if it's against the Spurs, who are basically playing with 8 rotational players right now. I think that, it's going to be a fun game to watch, especially because of, all the fans in Mexico. And I know Mexico's big on basketball, but yeah, I think we do have to talk about, the start of the season, because I think, when I was looking at the schedule, I was like, whoa, this is a tough start of the season, man. The first 5 games are not the easiest. We play Chicago, which I know we kind of own Chicago over the past couple of years. I think we've kind of, we've had a winning record. I don't think we've lost to them at home since 2019. But that's still a team which is a guaranteed playoff team, in my opinion. And is getting better with the addition, and not the addition, but Lonzo Ball is coming back from his injury, which is going to be a big boost for them. We played Boston, which is a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals. We played Toronto twice, who always plays hard against us, and we all know that Toronto, just like how we did in the years past where we didn't have the strongest team, we always used to give teams run. That's what Toronto is going to be known for. And then we played a new look Portland with Damian Lillard, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic fully healthy. That's not going to be an easy test. And then Golden State, the defending champions. So the first 5 games is not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy out for sure. It's going to test us. It's going to see how the team is either improved or has gotten worse from last season. We do get a nice break against Sacramento. I'm not trying to discredit Sacramento, but that's one of the easier games of our season. But then we're back at it with Golden State in November. So October, man, October is going to be a little tough, man. I think the only easy game we have is Sacramento. And yeah, I mean, the schedule, again, like, I don't really put too much stock into it as far as, if we have a harder schedule than other teams or easier schedule than other teams, because I'm pretty sure if you're in the Eastern Conference, you're going to be playing majority of the same teams. If you're, any team in the Eastern Conference, you might have a couple of differences here and there, but depending on what your conference is, most of your schedulers are going to look identical to the teams in your same conference. So, in your same division, I must say, because I think, divisional games happen more frequently than non-divisional games. Or that might just be a conference thing. I'm not too sure. It's definitely division. I'm not sure if divisional games happen 4 times, or if I'm mixing that up with the NFL. I know for the NBA though, you play your conference more than you do the opposite conference. I think we only have 2 Western Conference games max against the same team in that conference, but against the Eastern Conference team, I think maximum we can play them 4 games, if I'm getting that right. So again, like I said, if you're in the same conference, your schedule is probably going to look identical to everyone else in that conference, apart from like a couple of changes here and there. But I just did want to point out that the first month is not going to be an easy month at all. It's going to take some grit and some toughness to walk away with that, with a positive record. But I'm optimistic, man. I think this is going to be a good year. Again, it's yet to be, seen what the full team is going to look like. But I'm excited, and yeah, you guys should be too. That's where we're going to wrap up the video, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Again, we are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. Hit up my Twitter, my second channel, everything in the description. And yeah, we're going to end the video right there. Have a nice day. Peace.